What's up, everyone? Today we have this. It's a Raspberry Pi 4 8GB computer, actually miniature computer, and we're going to be building one. The case hasn't came yet, but you'll see it in a few minutes. Well, actually a day for me because, you know, something called editing. Anyway, first off we have our SD card. This one's nothing special. A lot of people have it. It's a SanDisk Extreme micro SD card. Looks like I didn't cut it low enough. That's better. Hold on. Here's the card itself. Open it like that. It's a micro SD, 128GB. That might be a bit much, but we are going to be installing, I hope, Ubuntu Linux. So, there's also a little message in here. I'm gonna peel this open. If it's ever helpful to you, here you go. Camera doesn't really want to focus. But there's a free download of that. Anyway, comes with a little adapter, cool. And here's the SD card, well, micro SD card itself. Put that off to the side. We also needed this, not an HDMI cable, definitely not full size, but those mini HDMI or micro HDMI to full size will be plugging into my monitor. In this case, a Samsung 27-incher curved monitor, but that's not really what's important. This one I bought's like 6 feet. Which is good enough. Alright, now we have some heat sinks to keep it cool. They're a little smaller than I expected, but we'll see what we get anyway. I bought a ton of heat sinks as well for some reason. Thought there were only like 3. But here they are, some gold looking pieces with the words RPI engraved onto it and the Raspberry Pi logo. There's a small heatsink, it's really small. Here's in comparison to an SD card, that is really small. If you know how big an SD card is, you know how small this is. And here's the biggest one they've included. Oh wow, I just had an idea. I can cool down an SD card with these things, wow. Okay, that's a bit much. Alright. Onto the Raspberry Pi computer itself. So they want me to subscribe to their magazine and get a free Pi Zero for 69 bucks. However, I can get a Pi Zero complete kit with wireless on Amazon for 40 bucks. Alright, here's the little computer. Raspberry Pi 4 8GB compatible software required. Alright, whatever. Here's the little computer itself. It is a very small computer, about the size of a credit card. In terms of power, they say it's got the power of a desktop from the late 2000s era, but it has 8 gigs of RAM, which is what most desktops have nowadays. So it should be good enough for everyday computing, Word documents. Well, actually, I believe it can only run Word online. It can run, I hope it can run Google Docs, which is what I'll be running on it a lot. Alright. Not sure what this means. Just a lot of warnings and stuff. Alright, it comes with an adapter, so what is it? Oh, no, this is not an adapter, it's the Pi switch thing. Okay, I know what this is now. This is to turn it on and off. The power button, really, because it doesn't have a power button. I thought that was a HDMI adapter. No, it's basically to turn it on and off. Here's the power supply. It's one of those ones that stick off the wall. You can't push your desk all the way back. It's one of those. Wish they could make this smaller somehow. So it is USB-C. It is certified according to their website to work with the Raspberry Pi. Everything in this video will be linked in the description below. If you ever want to build yourself a Raspberry Pi, the same one featured in this video. Alright, so now that we have all the hardware unboxed, it is time to install the software on the SD card. Now first, here's how the Pi switch works. So you plug the power supply into here, and then this end into the Raspberry Pi, so you can press the power button. This red light should turn on. But let's push all this aside for now, and let's see if I purchased the correct HDMI adapter. I'm trying not to touch the CPU and stuff. Yes, I did. I did purchase the right one. Okay, cool. Now I'll put this back in its box for a while, and let's go deal with the software side of it. Alright, so hope you guys can see this well. I'm at my computer, obviously, and I just downloaded this Raspberry Pi imager. The link to this will also be in the description. Now if I head to my downloads, here it is. The imager, we're going to run this program. It's done, and now, here it is. Now we're going to choose the OS we want. I said I was going to do Ubuntu, and we're going to run Ubuntu Desktop. And now I just need to format this this USB. Hold on. Well, I mean the SD card, obviously. So I have my my SD card reader. I bought this on Amazon. I'll link this in the description as well. Here it is. It's USB 3.0, so it should be quicker. Just plug that in. Heard that. I am going to check out. Well, this might not be necessary. I don't know. I'm just going to see what's on that little drive. Here it is. Nothing's on it, but let's see what Partition Wizard's got to say. Oh, some unallocated stuff. Delete all partitions. So I lost 16 megabytes there. Whatever. Choose the storage. This one. The generic one. Right. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, so it's downloading it and writing Ubuntu Desktop. This might take a while, so I'm just going to turn off the camera and let it do its job. And I'll tell you when it's done. Alright, so it's done. It took at most 20 minutes, and now it says it was safe to remove the SD card from the PC. So now we're going to plug it into the Raspberry Pi and run it outside the case, even though it hasn't arrived yet, because we want to know if it works. And oh yeah, just to make it absolutely clear, the micro SD slot is right here. It's on the bottom, right near this connector here. Also, we're running out without heat sinks because we're just going to boot up the computer and set it up. We're not going to do anything more than that. Okay, so I got it, the SD card in there. I'm going to plug in the power and the HDMI. Okay, time to power it up. And I also connected a mouse and keyboard. So I see lights flashing, which is good. And if you look down, there's the Raspberry Pi. And I have it hooked up to my monitor. Let me just check if it's on the right input. No, not display port. Yep, HDMI. Alright, so something's flashing across this. Oh, there it goes. Ubuntu has loaded. Linux is working. I have this mechanical keyboard and this mouse hooked up to it. That's what I'll be using with it. So I'm just waiting for it to boot. It's just spinning there. I don't know when the screen changes. Oh, it looks to have stopped. Alright. The green light is flashing. Oh, a mouse pointer has appeared. And now it's circling in that mouse pointer. The screen has changed. Perfect. This is what I want to see. System configuration, yes. English, correct. Next. And keyboard, a US keyboard, correct, in English. And sure, I can connect to Wi-Fi. Studio Wi-Fi. I almost forgot how good this mechanical keyboard feels. Perfect. Oh, wait, I hit cancel. Come on. Connect. Continue. That time zone. Wow, I didn't know there's that many time zones. Looks like I need a password. Alright, got one there. Okay. Okay, there are some features that they want me to see. Very cool. Oh, it supports Chromium, but does it support Google Chrome? And that's the question, because I'm a Chrome user. It comes with Firefox, which I'm not too thrilled about, as I'm a Chrome user. It comes with a Office style productivity suite, that's what I should say. Productivity suite or something. See what else. You can customize how it looks. Of course, I'm choosing dark mode. They say it's better for your eyes. And of course, you can ask questions. So currently, it's setting it up. So I guess I'll just give it some time. So when it's done, it boots to the regular desktop. I'll show you. Okay, so it's gone to the desktop. This should be what the desktop looks like according... Well, I downloaded a demo of Ubuntu on my computer and ran it off a USB finger. And this is what it looks like. Send, yeah, whatever. Next. Sure. Use software to install apps like this. Okay, so it looks like it's like some kind of app store or some kind of... Yeah, it looks to be here. So it's got apps that you can install. Let's see. It's loading. This looks to be the most complex operating system. I might try out Raspberry Pi OS one day. Oh, it didn't load. Hang on. Ah, there we go. That's better. It's being downloaded, almost done. A catalog. There's software that can go. Oh, sorry, hit the camera on this thing. Think of it like your phone's application download store. It's got Mail, Firefox. Let's see how Firefox looks. Okay, so it has an ad here for something. So here's Firefox. Let's see. Let's go to my YouTube channel. It's thinking. Here it is. Here's the Captain Morse Productions YouTube channel. Okay, yep, it works. And let's full screen this. How full screen can it get? Perfect. And here is my intro video. What resolution can it go to? Well, so it defaults to 480p. It can go to 1080p, but let's see. Is it going to lag? Is it going to lag? Oh, a bit of lag. Just a little bit of lag, but let's go back from the beginning. This was my intro video, my first video actually. So I can see just, it's going smoother because it's already buffered, but I can still see just a slight bit of lag. But probably because throttling is kind of warm where I put my hand above the CPU. So it's best I power this thing off. Yeah, let's just have a look through the apps. Yeah, the CPU is probably throttling, so I'm going to put... Well, the case I bought has a heatsink built into it. So the case will be the heatsink. So it's mostly passively cooled. I'm also going to stick heatsinks on many of the major components on this thing that are not covered by the case. Hang on, there's updates. Just update all. And just let it update. So, yeah, I'm going to stick extra heat sinks on it so it can run at its best. I don't want it to overheat, so we're not going to do any more. Once this is done, I'll power off the computer and put it aside till the case comes, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to let this update and then turn it off. Okay, so I also have my case now. Here it is. It just arrived. Wow, they even claim it's the most beautiful. And I can agree with that. It's a very nice looking case. I'll show you in a second. It's all aluminum. Well, at least most of it is. They did do a very good job building this. Here it is. Now, if you notice, there's a little pillar that goes down into the case. That is actually your heatsink. So this case is aluminum. It acts as your heatsink to keep the Raspberry Pi cool. Now, if you look closely, you would have seen that I already applied heatsinks to my Raspberry Pi, most notably to the Wi-Fi module, the Ethernet controller, the USB controller, and the RAM. The last heatsink is this. It's for the CPU. They were easy, just peel off the sticky tape. It has adhesive tape that's also thermally conductive, so it's good. How do I use this? There's 4 screws, cool, but how do I use this? Oh, that peels off. Alright. I see how it works. So one end's gotta go there. Hang on. Alright, I'll figure that out. Okay, right. Still not sure which side is up and which is down. So here's what I'm gonna do. Take the Raspberry Pi. Okay, it's supposed to sit this way. This case also provides support for these 40 pins, I believe. I believe there are 40. Called the GPIO. Here's what I'm going to do. There's one bumpy side and one that's smooth. Put the bumpy side on the CPU. The smooth side up. Not sure why I chose that, but I guess that's... we'll see if it works. There are no instructions included with this case, I don't think. It's simply the case in the box. Let me check. There are really no instructions. Wait, compatibility. Just the Raspberry Pi 4. Okay. So... I'm going to put this right on top of the CPU. Hang on, let me adjust it. It's cut perfectly to fit on top of it. That looks better. Now, we can put it inside the case. Which means flipping it over and putting the ports on the correct side, the USBs, and all the HDMI power, you name it. Okay, there it is. I'll have to remove the SD card because it doesn't seem to, I can't put the bottom part on. Actually, I just don't feel I did it correctly. Let me see. Oh, I did. It's perfect. Where I put the thermal pad. That's what it's called, thermal pad. Okay, now we can continue. Stick this here, at the bottom. There are 4 screws you'll need to put in there. Right on the side there. Let me get my screwdriver. So yeah, there is some assembly, a lot of assembly required. Hold on. I can do it with this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna get my better screwdriver. Thought I could do it like that. You guys remember this if you've seen previous videos. Oh, dropped it. Just make sure it's really tight, but don't break the plastic, obviously. Alright, now it should run a little quicker, because what I thought was happening yesterday, before I got the case, when I power it on and try to update stuff in Ubuntu Linux, it keeps thermal throttling, which means that it'll limit its own speed because it doesn't want to burn up. It doesn't want to burn the CPU out. So, there is our little computer. It looks very nice. Now, the final test, we'll plug it in and go to my YouTube channel and see what else it can do. Okay, I have it plugged in the same monitor. Let's hit the power switch. Alright, I see the red light. There it is. There are two lights on it. If you can see it, one's red, one's green. Okay, powering up, let's see. It should automatically switch input, this monitor. But I might also have to check. It's HDMI 1. Also, there are no fans inside here to tell me if it's working. Okay, I see something. There, that's better. It thinks it's January 1st. I'll have to adjust that. Ubuntu Linux is powering up. I see the mouse pointer. It should be working just like yesterday, unless I did something last night to break it. Alright, there we go. That's better. Wrong mouse. I'm using my other one. Okay. It automatically connected to Wi-Fi. Looks good. First, I want to see what they got on the App Store. On the, what do they call it? Ubuntu Software. Okay. Let's see what they got. Their catalog is downloading again. But in the meantime, I think I'll check out Firefox. God, I hope it can run Chrome, but I remembered my search history. Great. Alright, we're heading to my channel. Give it a bit of time. Also, I want to check the Wi-Fi speeds. 633 subscribers. Thanks, everyone. Alright, let's see. YouTube videos. Let's just play my latest one. The speakers are making noise even though I didn't plug it in. I'm gonna mute them. Let's play at 720. Seems to be playing pretty steadily. Let's go to the part where there's more movement. Here. Where I'm talking about my keyboard and mouse and all that. No, I don't want to try YouTube Premium or whatever. A little choppy. Thought it'd be a little more smooth than this. So watching videos at any viewable resolution on this computer may be out of the question now. Let's put it at a lower resolution. Let's try 480p. That's really as low as I'll go. It's looking better. Less choppy. Let's go back a few seconds. Take a long time to buffer. I really want to check its maximum Wi-Fi speed, because that may be the problem. So I'll try connecting it via Ethernet later, and we'll see it. I better stop playing this video because it's taking away my view time. Also, or playing this video might act like a trailer to it, and you'll actually go check it out, and I'll get more view hours. But yeah, okay, it's a little smoother at 480p. I might try connecting it through Ethernet later, but I just want to see if it can do Google Docs. Yeah. Okay, we have Google Docs loaded. Yep, all those tools have loaded. Very cool. Ooh, it's a bit slow. Let me try typing something. Okay, so I typed a few things. It's getting better, but I just want to know if I can install Chrome. I'll be right back. I might also connect it via Ethernet. Alright guys, camera is actually kind of low on battery, but it's the next day. Oh, there's updates. Let's do it. Come on, work. Alright, it's good, this computer. It does all the basic tasks, web browsing, although YouTube only works well in 480p. So, it's true what that one website said about this. It works best, actually no, it works like a computer from 2000 and, well, late 2000s. Feels like the one I picked up off the streets a couple of years ago, restored it, and this is exactly how it performed. Oh, okay, yeah, updated. Right, it also comes with a word processing application. If it'll load, there it goes. So, this is a good computer, only if you plan to do very basic work, like this. It like that. Now, if you're interested, the peripherals I'm using are the Aukey KMG9 mechanical keyboard with MX Blue clone switches, and the mouse I'm using is the Logitech M500S laser mouse. I think it's laser. I think. Or is it optic? I don't know. It's a good mouse, full size. It comes with a, well, that's just what I'm using. And the monitor is just a Samsung 27-inch 1080p curved monitor. Also, it comes with a spreadsheet document, app, this kind of thing. There it is. I'm not sure if you can see that it's a spreadsheet. There you go. Spreadsheets. Reminds me of a few well-known spreadsheet processing document apps. Actually, quite a few. Also comes with a presentation maker, so you can make some very meaningful and powerful presentations that will move people, if that's the right way to put it. You can choose a template. What about that one? There it goes. That's what you could do with it. Multiple slides. It looks alright. I mean, it's usable. Although, what's interesting is it doesn't save these as any regular file types. Let's see. If I hit Control S, which is universal for save everywhere, it would save as an ODF presentation. Although, let's see what else it could do. It can do a PowerPoint style presentation, PPTX. So let's see what it'll say. Let's save. Okay, yeah. I got this same message when I tried installing LibreOffice on my Windows platform. I got the same message. It's going to prompt you to use ODF because there are some specifics in this document that can only be saved in ODF. So, I'm not going to save this, as this is not a meaningful and powerful presentation that will move people. I'm still not sure if I'm using those words in the right context. I don't know, anyone who is good at English, grammar, whatever, correct me in the comments. Whatever. That's not the point of this video. But yeah, this is a pretty good machine. I installed VLC to play video files and music files. I uninstalled the built-in ones because I just didn't think it's... I know VLC better. I have it on my Windows computer. Comes with some utilities like that. Also, let's see. It has something that looks like Task Manager. I mean, all operating systems have this. And it can tell you how much CPU, memory, doesn't say GPU, oddly enough. There are 4 cores, actually, just discovered that, in the Raspberry Pi 4B, 8 GB. And, of course, 8 GB of memory. It's using 1.5 right now. And every time I do something, I'm going to just open Firefox. And I still haven't discovered how to install Chrome. If you know how, drop it in the comments, but I may have figured it out by the time I'm done editing this video. I'm gonna just head to google.com and look at the CPU graph. Look at that. It jumped to 100% at one point. Imagine going to a web page, just visiting any web page, and your CPU usage maxing out. So yeah, this is not a gaming computer. Definitely not. Or at least in this operating system. I know there's a few operating systems that can run like retro games from, I don't know, the 90s and 80s that used to be run on old game consoles. They put it on the Raspberry Pi. I could try that, turn it into a gaming system. I'm not sure if an Xbox controller like this would work. I'll show you. Because I'm not going to spend extra money to buy like a retro game controller thing. I have this. It's an Xbox controller. See if it'll work. I'm not sure. I'll have to do my research on that. And I also discovered there's another operating system for this called Raspberry Pi OS. It's the recommended one. I'm not sure how it'll run compared to Ubuntu, which is I heard one of the most popular Linux based operating systems. This is Linux. It looks pretty good. Better than I expected. I've always been a PC or Mac guy. Kind of changing my views about it. It looks pretty good. So I've opened quite a few applications and it's still running good. So it's a multitasker. And the settings look very nice, okay? It's a very nice user interface. I like it, modern. So it has Ethernet as well. I tried that. The speed I got was between 100 and 160, averaging around 150 megabytes per second when I tested it. And on wireless, it gets about 50 to 60. So, well, it's because I have a gigabit internet plan, so there are no bottlenecks there. The bottleneck really is the Raspberry Pi itself. So I have to have a really quick internet connection to test out my Raspberry Pi's internet connection. The routers, just so you know, I'm gonna pan the thing over there. It's that one over there, that tower. It's one of my mesh nodes, mesh network nodes. It's a Linksys Velop MX10, I believe, or MX. I don't know. It's the Wi-Fi 6 one, so I definitely know it will support such high speeds. It's not the slow ones. Oh yeah, it's got Bluetooth, so I can connect my Bluetooth headphones. I might try that one day. Because the wired headphones, oddly, there's some kind of hissing noise. I'm not sure if it's interference or something, but yeah, it makes quite a odd hissing noise. So I'm gonna try Bluetooth. Hopefully that kind of fixes it up, or not. You can change it between a few backgrounds, pre-installed ones. You can add a picture. So I like this one as a default, you know. I chose dark mode because why not? I hope you guys can see all this pretty clearly. Notifications, search, oddly enough. Yeah, so a lot of settings, very descriptive. And for once, for display, they call it Samsung Electric Company. Most other operating systems, at least when I check, calls it just Samsung. And then the model number, I forgot. You can change the mouse pointer speed and all that, although you can't customize what the... Hang on. Oh, hang on. What does this do? Oh, wow, so you can test the scrolling speed. So it includes a nice little image. How do you go back? And click that again. Okay, so you can test the settings, double click and all that. Keyboard shortcuts, there's a lot, and they are, I believe, yeah, customizable. They are customizable. Add a printer, removable media, like a USB, I'm guessing. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Default apps, I set VLC for music and video. Web browser, Firefox, until I find out how to install Chrome, which I hopefully will. Mail, it's going to be Thunderbird Mail because I cannot install Microsoft Outlook, or I don't think there's a Gmail desktop. And no calendars yet, interestingly. Yeah, but this is really it. Let's see, about this computer. It's going to open another app, right, for software updates. Yep, it just did. Okay, whatever. So it tells you there's 7.6 GB, which is another data storage measurement, although we normally use gigabytes or gigabits. So this is interesting to me. It doesn't tell you what processor. It tells you what graphics there are. And it doesn't know its own disk capacity, although I can go to the Files app. Ooh, my battery's really running low on the camera. Hold on, this will be quick. Other locations, open that up. This computer, it recognizes there is 125.5 gigabytes, which is close enough to 128 gigabytes, after formatting, obviously, on computer. That's what the disk is called. Not sure what blue box is, although it's some kind of network drive. Although I monitor my network pretty closely to check for unauthorized connections every day, and nothing talks about blue box 2, but I'll have to figure it out one day. Trash, nothing's in there because I have no files on this thing yet. But yeah, it's a pretty nice operating system. It looks good, for sure. Let's see, quit. Okay, so it keeps it open anyway. Okay, I had Firefox closed, didn't I? Okay, because whenever it's... Okay, just like closing all the windows. Okay, I see. But that's really it for this video. And for the last thing I'm going to do here, I might make more videos about this computer, who knows. I'm going to show you how to shut it down. Because this is a Raspberry Pi, it doesn't have a normal power button. Power off, and finally click power off. It's shutting down. It should run like that. Once the screen goes blank, it has been turned off. The red light will stay on, which means it's receiving power, but it's not on. The green light is, I think, when it's on. Alright, then press on the Pi switch to power it off. Also, one very last thing, seriously, this is the last thing. The little quick start guide that they included is actually quite helpful as to where I decided to put all the heat sinks, because here it describes very clearly where all the things are that go to it, all the major components, and where I decided to put each heatsink. So that's a little helpful guide. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.